Hi guys, this is Ish and Lax of the Subs podcast, where the subs have their say. So now that the dust has finally settled on the mad transfer saga that just finished last week, how do you feel the transfer window has been, and what are your thoughts on the whole Isak and Gheui situation towards the end?
So Isak, obviously, yeah, absolutely over the moon about that. I think everyone in the club is so happy for that. One thing I do want to mention as well, I am on board with what Salah said. They aren't upgrades. Obviously, you got to remember we are still Premier League champions. There are now players that we have to integrate, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm super happy about Verts and Isak, but I am here to support the club at the end of the day. I think we shouldn't be being so, I think the word I'd say is obviously lambasting the previous players, because they were incredible players for us. Nunez was great, the chaos machine that he was, and obviously Diaz, I'm so happy for him. I think obviously they've just qualified for the World Cup as well, so it's great to see in that regard. But going back to the transfer deadline itself, am I allowed to shout at a Parish? Because I think that was absolutely ridiculous. Obviously the news has come out. I think he was in a fitness class in Soho, not even really caring about Ghehi's future. We've seen the leaked footage of him apparently giving his goodbyes. They had a whole social media post ready for it, and it all fell apart, right? And now some of the things that I'm reading is potentially Madrid are already thinking about coming in right now that he's going to be a free transfer. A part of me thinks maybe we might do a Van Dijk. I think we might go in January for him, get him for 10 million, maybe 5 million, because they've not really got much to say, right? We obviously had the same scenario with Trent. Madrid wanted to get him early for the World Cup, so there could be a potential where we just go, here you go, here's 10 million or here's 5 million, and perhaps we get something out of the deal. But going back to the whole state of frame, I think I had a wonderful conversation with a United fan actually yesterday, and I think this just shows who we are. We are the biggest club in England. We're back on our perch, as we like to say, and this just proves it, right? I think we have a squad now to do some incredible things. I'm going to go for the moon. I think we could go for it all now. I think we have a really strong squad. There's all these smaller clubs that haven't made it through the cups already. I think was United one of them. Yeah, United lost to Grimsby, didn't they? Yeah, there we go. So there's going to be an easy chance there with the Carabao Cup. FA Cup, why not as well? We've got so much depth. With that in mind as well, obviously I've seen the news about people talking about Chiesa as well, right? Not being in the Champions League squad. From what I understand, the reason for that would probably be homegrown status. I think we've obviously spent big. A lot of these players, they have to be either made homegrown at club or homegrown in the country. So that's probably what's happened there. We've not registered very well in regards to the squad. You've seen it with a lot of other big clubs as well. Bless his heart, Betancourt, who's gone from from Brighton to Chelsea, said he can't wait to play in the Champions League, and he's not even going to be in the squad, right? So there's obviously registration rules there. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. It would have been fantastic to have Gheui, but listen, I'd love to see Leone have a chance.
Signing Isak, I never would have thought we would have had a player of his quality and his calibre at Liverpool. And after going in and breaking the British transfer record with Verts, I thought, wow, that's most of our money put into that. And I was very happy with that sort of business. And then when we got Ekitike, I was also very happy that we've got a young, up-and-coming baby Isak, as they call him. But then to sort of get Isak as well through the door, and knowing that he wants to come to the club, and now seeing that what he, in terms of the way he went about his transfer, has kind of paid dividends, because then the likes of Gheui, who was a true character and a true kind of hard-working man, played and was loyal and honest to the club, and was promised his move away, and at the last sort of hour he was that was sort of robbed from him, and it was a very sad situation, and then which kind of put a little sour sort of note onto the end of the transfer window, because we never thought we would be getting Gheui either. But then, in hindsight, looking back, if we had just got Gheui and we'd missed out on our last minute Isak deal, which fell through, I think I would have been a lot more hurt, and it would have felt a lot more painful. I think with this Isak signing, it definitely shows, like you said, it's an intent. We're definitely we're sorting the roof out whilst the sun is still shining, as Gerard said. But yeah, that's what it's about. I think it's about strengthening, and it's about not being passive in the transfer window when you're on top. And I think these players are hungry. The ones we've signed, Verts, Frimpong, Kirkes, I think they want to be part of this club, and they've seen those around them win trophies and win the championship. So I think they will elevate and help build again, another sort of mentality monsters, I would say. It's going to take a little bit of time, bit of a bedding in time for the players, but I think all in all, I think our transfer window has been for me, a 10 out of 10, and one that I've never seen the like since I can remember being a Liverpool fan. So, yeah, let's go to January and get Gheui over the line, because I still think his heart's set with Liverpool. He's already had pictures taken in the Liverpool top, had his medical approved and done, and he was ready to board that flight, his jet to fly to Liverpool to just complete those media duties. And it was just very unfortunate that Gazner put his foot down and said, basically just put an ultimatum to Parish and the board members. So, yeah, let's see how that one fares. But otherwise, yeah, I think for me it's a 10 out of 10 transfer window.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If I was going to give it a rating, I'd definitely give it 10 out of 10. You mentioned about spending as well. I was listening to a great interview yesterday on TalkSport. You've got to remember, this is a consolidation of two transfer windows, right? We spent, 10, 15 million on Chiesa last season. We've got one of the highest revenues in the country as well. So, and with the net spend as well, it's not like we actually went overboard, right? We can all look at other clubs and, sorry, United, but look, you guys barely sold, right? All right, cool. Garnacho going to Chelsea for 40 million is a full profit, but apparently you're all in debt. You've got to sack the staff and all this redundancies going on there, right?
Bring packed lunches in.
Yeah, the barbecue that never happened, right? So to that point, I don't think we've gone completely overboard, but then to that point, there's obviously this phrase that's going around. We're going from a position from strength. We are champions. We're doing something we should really do. United, again, previously did it when they were champions. They used to buy the biggest players in the league, and then only do it from a position of strength. And again, to your point about, this is definitely the craziest time and probably the most amazing time to be Liverpool fans, because we've never seen this before. Do you know what I mean? And it's not like we've got the injection of cash that Man City have and things like that. It's fantastic to see FSG actually doing what they've planned out to do, right? We've all had our ups and downs with FSG. I think we've all seen the trending marks of FSG out and things like that. I don't think we'll be seeing that anytime soon, because they've really taken the club into somewhere special. And just to one final point on the whole scenario with FSG and even Slot, right? We do something incredible this season. I'll put my hand up and say potentially Slot's going to be there put in amongst the greats, right? He's obviously already got his name on the banner at Anfield. If he goes again this season and we do the double, the treble, whatever it might be,
quad,
or even the quad, right? Because you got to remember, we're a club out of all these fantastic European clubs out there. We've never done the treble, so are we potentially looking at a treble season?
We definitely are on for the quad, a minimum of treble.
Exactly. Guys, thank you so much for today. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe. We really want to hear your feedback, and we'll look forward to hearing you from the next one.